I'll be starting a new project in the restoration of the Nichols tool-wheel miller. You know, when you buy an old machine, you're often missing parts which you'll either have to buy separately or, like in my case, you'll have to make. This will be a series of videos on making an arbor support, which does just that. It supports the horizontal milling arbor by bracing it to the overarm. Let's have a look at our materials. Back from the stock room, and here's some of the material I might use for the webbing between the two cylindrical parts. I might use this piece of 1-inch round or maybe 1-inch square. I was also thinking about using square tubing. This is maybe the least likely candidate for the webbing. Here's a piece of 1.5 inch steel that I'll be using for the arbor side. And here's the material I'll be using for the overarm side. 3 3/8. This one did quite a number on my finger last Tuesday. It's about time I changed the felts for the carriage on my lathe. One of these days I'll make a pair of wipers for the tailstock on the lathe, because the Logan lathe doesn't have any wipers on the tailstock. I'm going to just cut off the scale and the imperfections on this hot rolled steel here. I need a dovetail type holder for the test indicator, because when I go to indicate the spindle for boring out the bearing races, I'm going to use a test indicator for that. So I'll either have to buy one or I'll have to make one. And since I want it today, I'm going to make one. It's going to be made out of 2 pieces of 3/8 mild steel, and one piece is going to have a female thread, and that's going to have the dovetail part here, where I'll just file that in. There will also be the other end, which will have a male thread and a piece of brass running through it. And when I screw the 2 pieces together, the piece of brass will close the dovetail between them and hold the indicator like that. take a whole lot of time, and this is a small part, so I may as well use a die. But lathe work is complete. I had to make a longer brass rod. I turned down a little bit of the threaded part. And anyway, so there we are. I'll cut the little mill cut down there, and then I'll file the sides to be dovetail shaped. We're here at the vise making some fine jewelry, and I think I've got the perfect file for doing the dovetails on this. It's safe on the back, and it has about a 90-degree corner on that safe side, and the cutting side is, well, like that. And so I can put it right down in the bottom of the holder thing and file like that. I think this is coming out fine. There we go. And now here's the completed indicator holder. I've blued the whole thing and turned this end down to 5/16. It holds an indicator really well. It doesn't move around in the dovetail holder at all. And this is going to be just what I need it to be. I've had to do a little bit of a revision to the original idea. 3/16 rod was way too large for this. Design failure. And I might make another one out of a material that I could harden. I think that these little spots where the dovetails end, they could be hard and still not at risk of breaking out. Maybe they would be at less risk of breaking out if they were hardened too. Anyway, let's get back to the rest of the task at hand. I have 3 of these here. This one that I've made longer will be either an emergency if these two don't turn out right at all, or if they do, this might be an intermediate kind of arbor holder. Now the picture for what the dimensions will be is getting a little clearer. And I want to say thank you to Jared for sending me pictures of his arbor support, especially with the dimensions. That helped me out a lot, kind of determining some of this stuff. Here's our nearly completed drawing now. There's one feature missing, and that is the plug, how it's called in the manual, with the pointy center here. And I haven't decided what the dimension of that will be. Well, that's where I'd like to end this installment. I'd say we're off to a good start. This is definitely going to be a 3 or 4 part series. I'm in no great hurry to get it all in one video and make you sit through a 45-minute sitcom. Although some people would say 14 minutes is long for a video. And it can be too if it's a drag anyways. Well, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Or, well, I can't see you. You'll see me in my next video. I'll see you in your next video. How's that sound? Arbor support for the Nichols. Scale is a 1:1. May 9th, 1921.